Ah, et rebonjour à tous. Et oui, nous revoici dans la voiture dans notre investigation sur une enquête assez paranormale et assez creepy. Et nous sommes sortis d'un asile cette fois-ci. Oui, on est sortis d'un asile et on se retrouve avec nos deux amis qui apparemment nous ont aidés, la Marie et l'officier Bradley qui n'étaient pas censés être morts. Ça devient vraiment bizarre. Alors attendez un instant là, parce que dans le son, la musique, on va couper un petit peu. Voilà. Ouais. Bon, et maintenant, où est-ce qu'on en est dans cette histoire? Ah, excusez-moi, il y a eu un sérieux bug. Je sais pas si c'est passé un problème avec l'heure du jour. Bon, ça nous fait 3 petits points à mettre. Dans un ici. Et voilà, on est expert en force. Maintenant, qu'est-ce qu'on va améliorer? Psychologie. Allez, on va prendre éloquence. Comme ça ira très bien. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'on a? Qu'est-ce qui nous a fait pas de la sentimentale, la mort de fond? Le rituel interrompu, le cauchemar. Ah ben, va falloir se guérir, hein. Ok, je pense que ça ira. Et maintenant, qu'est-ce qu'on doit faire? Ah bah déjà aller parler aux deux et surtout aux ressuscités, parce que j'aimerais bien savoir ce que tout ça signifie.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
Alors toi d'abord.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
Mince, j'ai pas assez.
I have flashbacks. They haunt me.
What did they do to you?
There was that Dr. Fuller and a nurse. Blood everywhere. My legs, the pain, I couldn't bear it. I was screaming. They injected me with something. I woke up at the Institute. Bradley was there.
And how you scared us. You seemed demented.
You likely woke up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What happened afterwards?
When I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me, Doctor. After you released me, I got a good look at what's in store for the patients of the Riverside Institute. Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine. Horrific medical experiments.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
You should believe it, Ethan. What Mr. Pierce saw is precisely what I've been trying to prove. Did you discover anything else?
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins. And that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
Hmm.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
Je préfère la prudence.
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Donc du coup, on peut modifier la fin selon ce qu'on a choisi ici. D'accord. Alors pour commencer,
The
toi,
other night's events are still confused in my head.
j'ai des doutes.
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
Moi je veux bien, c'est juste une question. C'est par où que je vais? C'est sympa le petit salon. Bon, celui-là veut nous aider à moins qu'il fasse semblant, mais je sais pas parce que ce Bradley, il est censé être mort, à moins qu'il ait fait semblant pour revenir. Tous les cas, ce docteur a à voir avec ce culte. Le vagabond. Vraiment falloir qu'on découvre ce que c'est parce que là. Il va sérieusement falloir que j'augmente mon occultisme et ma médecine. J'ai l'impression d'avoir raté tellement de choses dans le jeu, là. On est déjà au chapitre 6.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here. You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday. I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned.
Oh.
You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
Ouais, on va essayer ça.
What happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was inevitable. The man I met yesterday had lost his reason. He suffers no longer, if you would allow me such a platitude.
Of course. Thank you for your kind words. Nobody in that hospital would have deigned to speak them to me. However, it will require more than that to soothe my mind. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
Je crois qu'il est en téléloquence, tiens.
Mrs. Sanders, I understand your grief, and I extend my deepest condolences to you. But I had nothing to do with the death of your husband. I've just arrived on Darkwater. I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
The death of the Hawkins family? You mean it was not an accident? This accursed island knows only tragedy after tragedy. You too would be advised to flee it like the plague. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it, I would urge you to make the most of your visit. Because I count on ridding myself of that thing as soon as I can.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
Commence à me demander si finalement le mari n'a pas seulement rejoint le secte. En fait, si cette Sarah a voulu avertir
Did she
tout le monde.
really care for him after all? The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
C'est ça le vagabond. Ah, intéressant.
A house of artists. Frances Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
Ou alors je dirais plutôt allié vu que l'affaire est assez bizarre.
Xander's accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler, "Finally." What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting? He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom?
Malheureusement, non.
He didn't want Sanders to have the painting. She must have felt devastated.
Les peintures doivent jouer plus qu'un rôle essentiel dans l'histoire, je dirais.
Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins? The Shambler. I need to see it.
Ça devient bizarre. Encore un livre de médecine. Ça, c'est parfait. Alors, il y a autre chose d'intéressant ici? Non, pas d'autres livres. On va fouiller un peu toute la maison, augmenter notre expérience. Il n'y a pas de raison qu'on reste tout juste amateur en tant que médecin. Évidemment, c'est fermé. Voilà, c'est la sortie.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Cœur. Tiens, d'ailleurs, excusez-moi. Ah, j'ai un point supplémentaire. Autant augmenter les compétences le plus vite possible. C'est sur pause pour lire. Force de lire médecin, on va se reconvertir.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
Il y a des tableaux partout. Il y en a un qui avait une tache de sang, vous l'avez vu? C'était le portrait de sa femme. Ok. Je commence à avoir une sacrée frousse. Que sa femme avait raison. Il n'aurait jamais dû acheter cette toile. Dommage qu'il s'en est rendu compte trop tard.
A strange Amerindian pendant.
Un attrape-cauchemar.
I could use one of those.
On avis, c'était plus pour le mari.
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
Quelque chose a dû l'y obliger.
Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
Clé de la galerie Sanders, enfin. Et voilà. Un peu plus de culture. Oh là. Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? En tout cas, ça a bien augmenté, hein. Ça passe des choses étranges. Tiens, toi, pendant qu'on est là.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
On finira par savoir la vérité.
I'm not here to cause trouble, if that's what's worrying you.
Worry me? Don't overestimate yourself. If the last beating wasn't enough for you, I can always give it another go. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
Well. Bon. Oula, la galerie de l'horreur. Quoi? On va se cacher là-dedans? C'est pas n'importe quel art qu'il collectionne, le type. C'est l'art de l'horreur. Lui, il est prêt pour Halloween.
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Ces œuvres sont plus flippantes les unes que les autres. Un collectionneur avec un genre très précis. Et voilà, ça c'est mieux. Tiens, ça me rappelle une deck qu'on avait trouvée. Où je termine les phrases.
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
Pour se défendre, j'imagine. Ah bah c'est flippant.
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Ah, là-dessus, il était doué. Alors je sais pas en quoi ça va affecter le fait que j'ai lu un livre, enfin ça va peut-être donner un peu plus d'expérience, à moins que je vais faire une vérification. Ouais, c'est ce que je pensais, ça m'a enlevé de la santé mentale en fait. J'ai l'air bien. Non, c'est juste de l'huile. Voilà donc le tableau. C'est quoi ce délire? Ouah, cette chose! Du coup, je suis en bas.
What the hell was that?
Mince! Bon.
What the hell was that?
Je dois faire quoi maintenant? C'est quel bouton déjà? C'est marrant, j'aimerais bien en trouver moi aussi un placard. Ah, la flippe! Profitons-en. 2 points d'expérience à mettre. Je sais pas ce qui se passe. Mais en tout cas, c'est pas le moment de traîner dans le coin. Vagabond dimensionnel. Malus besti. Décidément. Ouais, j'aime bien relire ce que j'ai vu. Attends, c'était quoi l'objectif là? Je suis censé faire quoi là? Ah super, je crois qu'on a une musique de discothèque. Ah non, en fait, c'est mon cœur. Ah ça va, il t'a pas trouvé. se cacher. Eh merde. Oh la violence! Ah bah dis donc. Et moi je baisse un peu le son là parce que...
What the hell was that?
Allez, on se planque. Oh non, il m'a eu. J'en ai un petit peu assez de me faire tuer là, vous savez, on va s'arrêter là pour aujourd'hui. Parce que les visites de musée, déjà, je suis pas du genre à visiter le musée, mais en plus c'est pour me faire tuer. Merci, je remballe. Sur ce, mettez un pouce bleu si vous avez aimé me voir me faire déchiqueter. Laissez quelques commentaires si vous avez d'autres idées pour que ça m'arrive encore. Abonnez-vous si c'est pas déjà fait. Faites partager la vidéo pour que d'autres puissent être traumatisés. Sur ce, au revoir, à la prochaine, et portez-vous bien.